My guitar. This is for GQ, right? That's who we're doing this for?
No, not GQ.
Oh, I thought we were. I am Derek DeBoer, and these are my essentials. I'm gonna show you some of the things that I just can't live without. My B wallet. And I call it my B wallet even though it's a Gucci wallet, but that's because I sometimes try to not be that fancy. I always like to be the guy that just has different stuff or does different things, but it is a Gucci wallet. But I like Bs. Bs are essential for life, and they say that they're lucky also. And you know, with all the things that I do, like driving race cars and stuff, I figure any lucky items that you can add to yourself is a good thing to do. I did have a football coach though that said the harder you work, the luckier you get. And I definitely believe in that, but you know, if you can buy some cool stuff and add it in and get a little extra luck, I think that's always good too. I always like to try to be a little bit different, and it seems like everybody that's done these things all has one of these as an essential item. And it just really is. In today's day and age, you have to have a phone. I prefer to have an iPhone. I am slow with technology, so it looks like I'm totally current because at this exact moment I am. But up until just like a few weeks ago, I was resistant to change, and I only wanted to have an iPhone that still had a button. I guess the people at Apple are pretty smart because they designed this cool iPhone 11 to work even for people that think they need a button, because I don't need a button anymore, it's all totally cool. But since I took over the Fastlife vlog, I figured I needed like the best phone with some good cameras and all that, because it has to be simple or I just won't get it done. So iPhone is an essential item.
Which iPhones did you have before?
Well, I just recently upgraded from, is it 8? Is 8 the newest one that still has a button, or was it a 6? It was an 8. I do still have an iPhone 1 somewhere. So also, like I was saying, you know, when you start thinking about an essential list, you kind of find some of the items that you have around. And I think I might be a little bit of a hoarder, because almost every item I have duplicates of. Or it was really hard to narrow it down to 10, because I did find my iPhone 1. I have an original iPhone still. Is that weird? I also never leave home without a little bit of man jewelry. We don't have a lot of options for jewelry as men, so the pieces that you do get to wear, I think, need to be pretty important. So I've got this really cool bracelet from Saro, and I like it because it's titanium and carbon fiber, and since I drive race cars, those things all kind of go together. I also always wear my wedding ring. I think that's the purpose of a wedding ring, but I like people to know that I belong to Brooke. I'm taken, and that's just how it goes. And also, this is always on me, except I can't wear it in the race car. I guess if you catch on fire, things that are metal get really hot, and you're not supposed to have them underneath your fireproof underwear, but I do like this cross necklace, and it also happens to be Gucci. I don't think I have a Gucci thing, but apparently I do. And then this pinky ring, but I got tired of wearing the pinky ring, but I didn't want to not have it because it's the actual, it's kind of mine and Brooke's engagement ring. 3 weeks after our first date, I gave each of us one of these, and it says September 26th through forever. So I'd like to have that around. It reminds me of how important she is. My racing helmet. This is definitely one of the easier choices to make of essential items, because as a race car driver, it's one of the most important pieces of equipment that you have, but they're just also super cool. And this particular one, I have a lot of pride in. It was my first helmet that I received. It was kind of the first helmet that I received when my career took a path to become a professional driver. Brett King painted this helmet for me, and he's one of the most sought after, best helmet painters, and just an all around really, really cool guy. But he did this one specifically for me back in 2015 when the team that I was driving for represented Aston Martin, and it was my first shot at Daytona 24-hour, and he said he would have a helmet ready for me for that race. So literally this showed up while I was standing in pit lane for like the team photo before our first official session. Everybody else is standing there with helmets in their, photo and I didn't have one yet, and like before the photo started going, FedEx shows up, the box comes out, Brett King helmet, good to go. And again, not to be cliche, but Airpods. I told you I'm not a technology guy. I totally thought I didn't need these. I would never buy them for myself. Brooke got them for me for Christmas, and they quickly turned into like my most favorite item. And of course they're properly branded too, see Fast and Life. I think that's important. But they're just so convenient and they work really well, and usually things don't work well for me that are technology stuff. It just like, you put them in your ear. Oh, and that's my favorite part. The first time I put them in and like the whole world went quiet, I was like, oh, this is great. So now I wear them when I fly, even if I'm not listening to music, because people don't talk to you. And sometimes you like to have a conversation, and sometimes you just like to go veg out on the plane. And in racing, we travel a lot, so they've become a totally essential item. Even though we're supposed to be super healthy, and my trainer's probably gonna be kind of mad at me, weight is a big thing in race car driving, but I absolutely love gummy items. Almost any gummy item, but particularly Swedish Fish. I don't know why I think red dye is supposed to be bad for you, so maybe they're not the best, but they're super good. And gummy items just need to go with me everywhere. It makes the day better. Anytime you can have a Swedish Fish. If you haven't tried one, you should try one. Want one? I know I already talked about man jewelry, but I think there's kind of separate categories for that. And watches are definitely a big deal for me. And I think when you get into watches, you sort of like find a brand or a theme that you like. And BRM chronographs found me, and I fell in love with these watches. And each one I have is super important. They all tell a story, so it's really hard to narrow it down to one, but this one might be one of the very coolest. It's gold, and I think everybody wants a gold watch, and not many people get to have a gold watch. So when BRM came to me and said that this is something that I could have in my collection, it was pretty cool. And then on top of that, it's got a really great story, but I can't disclose who the other one was made for, but there are only 2 of these in the whole world. So it feels pretty awesome, you know? You feel like $1 million when you put something like that on your wrist. But like many things, it's awesome to have some backups. So I've got this little case here that holds 6 more BRMs. And they all, like I said, have a special purpose. This was my very first one. It's actually the Derek DeBoer Signature Edition watch, so that's pretty cool. This is one of the newer ones. You'll see it's got the number 17 on the side. That represents the race car that Dr. Jim and I drive. It was red that year, so we had a cool red watch, but it's fun to have some different colors. This one's super unique because 100% of this is all in-house made, and it's got a very unique movement. And I've just never seen another watch like that. And you gotta have some different colors. You know, sometimes you're wearing a tan belt or tan shoes, and you need a watch that's tan, and you might need to tell times in different zones, and that's what this cool GMT does. This one is from when we raced Aston Martins in Le Mans in 2015. And I actually ended up winning that race, and this watch commemorates that, which is super cool. It's serial number 1 of 7 of these that exist. So BRM's awesome. They're just, you know, to have access to bespoke timepieces like this is pretty cool. And then, you know, this is a super fun one. I don't know how good you can see it, but it's see-through. It's made out of Macrolon, the same stuff that our windshield and race cars made out of. So, yeah, one of my very favorites. I probably wear this one the most because, you know, you can't just go around wearing a gold watch every day. You kind of have to save it. It's like one of those special things. You just can't wear it out. Exactly, just those special days where you just really want to feel like $1 million. You put that on. So I put it on for this interview. I wanted to feel like $1 million for this. just in case. Just in case GQ wants to play this, I don't know if they care about the things that are essential to me, but just in case, and this is definitely one of them. This next one's pretty easy because who doesn't have a favorite t-shirt? And I just happened to wear it today. So I've been buying these for quite a long time. And the first time that I did, I think Brooke probably got me one as a gift, and then I saw the price tag and I was like, wow, that's a really expensive t-shirt. But then over time, like a lot of other t-shirts began to get more expensive, and then I think these kind of are just sort of in the middle now. But so these Sol Angeles t-shirts are just awesome. I've got a whole bunch of them, and I wear them. I actually kind of wear them a lot, and I'm weird about that. Sometimes when, like I said with my watches, sometimes my favorite things like stay in the closet and I don't use them, but I use these shirts. I wear them out. Not wear them out, but wear them until they get so soft and perfect. And I think sometimes you can find them on sale racks even for like $60, and sometimes if there's like a super cool new one, you might have to pay $100 or something like that for it. But I think they're amazing t-shirts, and I just really, really like them. My next one is a totally essential item. My electric guitar from Carmine Street Guitars. This thing is amazing. It's a piece of art, and it actually sounds pretty good. I just say pretty good like when I play it because I'm not that great of a guitar player. Probably there's a lot of people that can make it sound super amazing, but Carmine Street Guitars is an amazing shop and amazing people. It's on Carmine Street, go figure, in New York. And I learned about them at the Ashland Independent Film Festival. They had a documentary, and it just looked like a place I wanted to go and people I wanted to meet. So we started chatting, and it turns out that they're race fans. And then we had a race later that year in Watkins Glen, New York, and we were going to be spending some time in the city. So they ended up making this guitar for me, and we picked it up while we were in town, and it's just super awesome. Rick and Cindy there are just amazing artisans, and they did a little bit of research. They saw my race car, number 17. They put the 17 on there. And then Brooke has this super amazing quote that's in some of our Fastlife episodes. What good are wings without the courage to fly? And one of the things that Cindy specializes in is her wood burning art, and she did all of the wood burning in this, including that. And it's just a super special piece, and I love playing guitar. It's one of the ways that I relax at night. I'll just sit down and play some of the little bits and pieces that I know, and it feels super good. And I aspire to be better, but I think I need more time. It seems like with all the essential items that one has, you have to have something to carry it around in. I've seen lots of really fancy bags in some of these episodes, and clearly, as we talked about earlier, I guess I do maybe have a thing for Gucci, but not this time. I've got this backpack, and it's just kind of a normal backpack, but it's super special to me. It's one that I feel like you can't buy it. I had to earn this backpack. So see, it says Derek DeBoer driver, and being a race car driver was like a lifelong aspiration. So to drive for TRG, the racers group, and get handed your team kit that comes, in this cool backpack is a pretty special moment. And it is just a pretty practical item, and I can go anywhere like in a moment's notice and grab this and know that I have everything that I really need. It's all in there. It all has a special spot, except the Swedish fish. They're probably not in there right now because we talked about those and opened them earlier, and I don't know where Alec put them, but the Swedish fish are not currently in the backpack. Although I bet there's some other gummy stuff in here somewhere. So that, my friends, is my list of essential items, the things that I can't live without.